So you can essentially use a for in loop to loop over an object, for example. But there's also the for of loop that allows you to conveniently loop over arrays, for example. So let's say we have a const fruits array that is equal to maybe a banana, an apple, and let's say a melon, for example. And now let's use a for of loop to loop over those fruits. So we can say let fruit of fruits. And now let's console.log our fruit, because I think this is the easiest way to really understand it. We're just going to run the code. And as you can see, now for our for in loop, we get the keys of this user object. And by using the for of loop, we get the values or get an output of the values for those fruits. So essentially the for of loop holds the value of one of the items from an array, for example, for every single iteration. So for iteration 1, for example, it goes over this array, takes the first item, so our banana, console.logs our banana, and goes on to iteration 2, since we have a second item. For iteration 2, fruit is equal to apple. It console.logs apple and goes on to the third iteration. And since we only have 3 items, after 3 items, it's going to break out of the loop. And the difference between those two things is essentially that right here, you can, for example, say if you have an object that you want to say, you want to get user of key, for example. And by doing so, you can, for example, also get the value of an object. So let's run this code after I cleared the console. And as you can see, now, for example, we are able to get the value of an object as well. So a for in loop is really good if you want to loop over objects and get key or value of the object, while a for of loop is really good if you just work with an array, for example, and just want to get the value or the individual values of this array, for example.